Imagine being 18 years old and getting 1 hour of honest advice from someone who has already built millions. Not motivational quotes, not shortcuts. Just the lessons they wish someone had learned much earlier. Most millionaires agree on one thing. If they could go back in time, they wouldn't ask for money. They'd ask for knowledge. Because money can disappear, but the ability to create it can last a lifetime. One of the biggest mistakes young people make is believing that earning money and building wealth are the same thing. They're not. Someone can earn a high salary and still struggle financially because every paycheck disappears as quickly as it arrives. Meanwhile, another person earning much less can quietly build wealth by making smart financial decisions year after year. That's why the first lesson many millionaires wish they had learned is this: build valuable skills before chasing a bigger paycheck. Income follows value. The more problems you can solve, the more opportunities you'll attract. Look at the highest paid people in almost any industry. They're rarely the people working the hardest physically. They're the people who have developed valuable skills that others are willing to pay for. Skills like communication, leadership, sales, marketing, negotiation, programming, and financial literacy. These skills continue creating opportunities for decades. Many teenagers spend years searching for the fastest way to make money. Successful people often wish they had spent those years becoming the kind of person employers, clients, and investors couldn't ignore. Because skills grow in value, possessions usually don't. The second lesson is one almost every successful investor repeats. Start investing as early as possible. Most people underestimate the power of time. Imagine two friends. One begins investing a small amount every month at the age of 20. The other waits until 30 because they believe they'll earn more money later. Even if the second person invests more every month, the first person often ends up with far greater wealth. Why? Because compound growth rewards time more than perfection. Money earns returns. Then those returns begin earning returns of their own. Over many years, that small snowball becomes incredibly powerful. The biggest mistake usually isn't choosing the wrong investment. It's waiting too long to begin. Many millionaires admit they wasted years thinking they needed thousands of dollars before they could invest. Later, they realized that consistency matters far more than the amount you start with. Small investments made regularly often beat perfect timing that never comes. The third lesson has very little to do with money, yet it influences success more than most people realize. Choose your friends carefully. The people around you quietly shape your mindset, habits, and expectations. If your closest friends constantly complain, avoid responsibility, and laugh at ambition, it's difficult to think differently, not because they're bad people, but because your environment influences your behavior every single day. Now imagine surrounding yourself with people who enjoy learning new skills, reading books, discussing business ideas, and setting ambitious goals. Without even noticing, your own standards begin to rise. Your conversations improve, your habits improve, your priorities change. Your environment becomes your invisible teacher. Many successful entrepreneurs say their biggest breakthroughs came after changing the people they spent the most time with. Not because those people handed them success, but because they showed them what was truly possible. And that's where real growth begins. Another lesson many millionaires wish they had learned earlier is that comparison is one of the fastest ways to lose focus. Today's world makes comparison almost impossible to avoid. Social media constantly shows luxury cars, expensive vacations, designer clothes, and lifestyles that seem perfect. But appearances rarely tell the whole story. Some people are living beyond their means just to impress others. Others sacrifice their future financial security for temporary attention. Millionaires eventually realize that real wealth is often quiet. Instead of asking, "How can I look successful?" they ask, "How can I become financially secure?" Those are two completely different goals. One chases attention, the other builds freedom. And financial freedom comes from small, consistent habits, not dramatic breakthroughs. The fourth lesson is one that becomes more valuable with age. Your reputation is one of your greatest assets. Skills may open doors, but character keeps those doors open. People enjoy working with those they trust. Customers return to businesses that keep their promises. Employers promote people they can rely on. Investors back founders who show integrity, even during difficult times. Every interaction shapes your reputation. Showing up on time, keeping your word, admitting your mistakes, treating people with respect. These habits may seem ordinary, but over the years, they create opportunities that money alone can never buy. Many millionaires say their biggest opportunities came through trusted relationships rather than impressive resumes. That's because trust compounds just like investments. Every positive interaction becomes another reason people remember you when new opportunities appear. The fifth, and perhaps the most important lesson is this: think long-term, even when everyone else is thinking short-term. The world encourages instant gratification. Buy now. Go viral overnight. Get rich quickly. But lasting success rarely happens that way. If you study people who have built real wealth, you'll notice a different pattern. They spent years building strong foundations while others searched for shortcuts. Think of two trees. One grows quickly but develops weak roots. The other grows slowly, strengthening what can't be seen. When the storm arrives, only one remains standing. Your financial life works the same way. Skills, discipline, patience, and good habits are the roots. Money is simply the fruit. Another mistake many young people make is believing failure defines them forever. A failed business, a rejected job, a poor investment, a bad grade. These moments feel painful, but they often become life's greatest teachers. Every failure answers important questions. What didn't work? What skill is missing? What needs improvement? Successful people don't avoid failure. They learn from it and keep moving forward. Millionaires also wish they had discovered the power of reading much earlier. Books allow you to learn from decades of someone else's experience in just a few hours. Even reading a few pages every day adds up over time. Just like investing, knowledge compounds. One new idea can change your career. One lesson can save years of expensive mistakes. Learning never truly ends. Another important lesson is to stop fearing calculated risks. Success in business, investing, and life always involves uncertainty. The goal isn't to avoid every risk. The goal is to understand it. Ask better questions. What's the downside? Can I recover if this doesn't work? What will I learn even if I fail? Preparation replaces fear with confidence. In the end, wealth is rarely built through one extraordinary moment. It's built through thousands of ordinary decisions repeated consistently. Saving instead of spending. Learning instead of scrolling. Building instead of complaining. Investing instead of waiting. Improving instead of comparing. If millionaires could give one final piece of advice to their younger selves, it would be simple. Become someone who creates value. Keep learning. Think decades ahead instead of days. Choose your environment wisely. Protect your reputation. Invest early. Stay disciplined. Because money doesn't usually flow to people who simply want it. It flows to people who are prepared to manage it, grow it, and use it wisely. No matter your age, you can start today. Every new skill you learn, every smart decision you make, and every good habit you build moves you one step closer to the future you want. The sooner you begin, the more time your efforts have to compound. And that's the lesson many millionaires wish they had learned from the very beginning.